Hello, 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 hello. There is a fucking fly in my room. What the fuck? How do I get rid of this cunting fly? Well, shit, you're here. All right, cool. Hang on. Ugh. Right. Right, there is one viewer. It's Kieran. I'm going to talk to you directly for a minute. Hello, Kieran. How are you? Obviously, you can't reply. Um, but I'm going to spend the rest of this talking as if there is an audience because it'll be recorded and I'll edit it and use it later on. But there is not an audience. But also, if you get bored, you can fucking leave. You don't know anything about this. But I'll start now as if there is an audience. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Today is No News Monday, which means price action could be pretty dead. So I'm not gonna risk too much. We're The balance at the moment is down. I'll show you my statistics. I've been break even for a while. So last week, lost, made it back, made a loss, right? I have this much to risk, but my monthly subscription is rebuilt on the weekend, which means that the account will be reset. So I'm basically just gonna risk all of this week. Um, so what I'm gonna do is start off by drawing on the new day opening gaps. So this is daily chart, and if we just and I'm not gonna like explain it as explain it like you're five. I'm gonna be talking about it as if you kind of know what's going on. Like I said, if you get bored, you can leave. But we're just gonna draw on new day opening gaps. The last five. So this is today. So yesterday closed here, open there. It's end dog. And then so at 9:30 is when we're gonna start looking at trades. So we've got like 20 minutes. Do that one. This one here. And it close there, open there. This close here, open there. And this one closes, open there. Cool. And I'm just going to go on the weekly. So we got new week opening gap there. I had one saved for NWOG. I swear to fuck, I saved one for NWOG. No. Just do new day opening gap and change it to red. So NWOG. And then this week gap. And this one. And this one here. Oh, wait. Yeah. Wait. I am being stupid. So, close here, open there. And this one closed here, open there. Down close candle, close there, open there. This one closed there, open there. And that's all we're going to draw. So, 4 hour, all that's locked in. Going to draw our daily target. So, I'm still bullish, just expecting higher prices. Looking at this high as our draw on liquidity. I'm gonna keep that there. So this is daily chart. I'm looking for an expansion up to here today. This down close candle here, daily order block. I'm not going to draw it on, but I expect that to provide support. This opening price here. If we go to like the 15-minute, that line I drew. This is that line I drew, offering support. So we'll get rid of that. I don't want it on there. So we've got all of our daily levels. There's one more I want to draw out, which is this high here, which is the low of that sell side imbalance. Just drag that along. Just right. SIBI low. 1 day. Cool. Oh, there's no space. There. Let's just have that like this. Oh, Jesus, what's all that? I'm gonna have to do all of that again. Everything I just did, I'm gonna have to do that again. Hang on a minute. Because I need to have it so that it duplicates on the time frames. Oh. There we go. That's it. Let's start again. We got time. We got 15 minutes until market open. That's when we'll get down to the 1 minute. You'll see some real price action moving around. Yeah, not expecting much today. Ideally, I'm not even going to take a trade. If the price action is shit, then the price action is shit, No news Mondays typically have terrible price action. You're likely to get, chopped around. And it's Wednesday is the inflation data, which means that they're likely to spend the whole of Monday and Tuesday in a tight range, so that they can like raid both sides of it when the inflation data comes out, because everything's manipulated. So typical protocol would be not to trade. I'm still going to trade because it's an evaluation account and it gets reset this week. I'm just going to be really, really cautious about it. I'm only going to trade at certain times, and you'll see what I'm on about. So this is the daily. Is this daily? Yeah, so that's your. This is just preparation. This is just how you prepare. New day opening gap. And so 1, 2. Sorry, my brain is not here today. 3, 4. I just deleted it, bloody hell. 4 and 5. Cool, right. Got to draw my drawn liquidity. This is our daily target. So that's the high that we're aiming for today, which from where we currently are, 800 to 933, that's a good range of about 130 points. So we could easily catch like 20 points in that range. Like I said, I'm expecting this to offer support. So if I get rid of all the drawings, you can see I'm expecting this down close candle to offer support at the opening. You can see this, it's come down, touched it here, and it's coming up. Right. Got all of that. I want to draw that line here quick, and then we can drop down to the lower time frames, actually do some real shit, real stuff. Gotta not swear really, don't I? If I aim to actually have people watch this. I'll edit it all out. But if I was ever actually streaming with an audience, I guess I would try not to swear. I don't know. Cool. Got all of that drawn on. Get this for a second. What I want to do, go to the 15-minute. So the day, right, so I will try and explain so it's not too confusing. We're currently at 9:15, New York time. Midnight is the true start of the day, midnight New York time. So this is midnight, that's the opening price there. So I mark that out as your midnight open. I'm just gonna make it red so you can see it better. 2 points. And I'm just gonna make the text bold. That's your midnight open right there. So typically on typically if price is going to go higher, it will need to manipulate below midnight open to go higher. Midnight open was here. We spent some time below it, but usually it's London, which is around about 2 a.m. that will have a nice manipulation lower. But it's a bit shallow in my opinion. However, these lows here, these relatively equal lows, this one and this one, they were swept right there. If I look for the S&P, the S&P didn't. So you can mark that as an SMT divergence where one asset made a higher low, but the other one made a lower low. What that means is this one's strong and this one's swept liquidity so that they can both go higher. Basically, if there's an SMT at the lows, it's bullish. If there's an SMT at the highs, it's bearish. You can even see here, this one made a higher high, whereas this one, no, it did make a higher high, but from this high to this high and this high to that high, it's lower. So that's a bearish SMT. And what did it do after? It went lower, right? So there's that SMT there. So I'm not expecting an actual retracement below midnight open, but I would allow for it. That's why we wait for 9:30 stock market open to see. And the other opening price I'm going to draw is 8:30 open. This is all confusing and stuff, and that's just because you don't know anything about it. If you had been around for a little bit, it becomes a lot simpler. It's not as complicated as it seems. I'm just drawing opening prices, drawing levels that I expect price to go below before it goes above, sort of thing. So those are opening prices. That's all good. I'm going to stay on the 5-minute chart while we wait for 9:30. So like I said, 9:30's going to be here. That'll be 9:30 there. So it's only in 10 minutes, right? So we'll wait and see what happens. I'm expecting a drop lower. Potentially, to be fair, I could imagine it dropping below all this. Anywhere down here is a great area to buy, basically. I'm looking for higher prices, so a manipulation below all this would be good. Let me just shut my bedroom window. So I live on a busy road and I don't like the noises. So if I go to, usually I have my chart set up like this. So I've got the 5-minute here and then I've got the 1-minute here. Go full screen. So we'll just we'll mark some stuff out as it's playing out. So basically this area should send price lower. So I'm expecting it to go below these lows now. I'll just mark it white dotted. But all of this, like, this is a 5-minute chart, right? You can imagine you wouldn't want to trade any of this. Look how, so each candle represents 5 minutes of time. Look how it comes up and it comes down. Think about how much time it's spent in the exact same range. Whereas you would like to trade, say, like these lows get swept and then comes higher. And you'd like to like go long here and come up because it's like an expansion. Different price conditions that you do and don't want to trade in. Like even on the 1-minute, you don't want to trade in that. You just get chopped up. But yeah, this area, essentially this box I've drawn, the lower portion of it should be what price works, and it shouldn't really spend much time in the upper portion at all, right? If it does, then it's not as bearish as I thought, right? So like that, not particularly the reaction I would want if I was expecting these lows to be the draw, right? Now it could still come lower from this. But again, none of this matters to me. I'm just messing while we wait for 9:30. And these little areas here on the chart, they're what I drew from the daily, if you remember. So they're the new day opening gaps. So like day closed here, right? So this is a daily candle. You got to think about opens here, it comes all the way up, comes down, and then comes up there, and that's the end of the day, that's midnight. And then when the next day opens, it's here. So you get this gap. It's not actually midnight. These close at 4 p.m. and the stock market opens again at 6 p.m. That's how you get your new day opening gap. There's an hour between trading. So like it opened here. So it's a gap, right? Because it closed here. There was an hour between trading, and then it opened down here. You can see it on the 1 minute. It's just easier to draw it on the daily. I'll find it for you guys. Guys is just one guy, but so we go to so 6 o'clock is here, right? So you'll be able to see it. So this is, yeah, 6 o'clock, 1 minute chart, right? So that if you look down here, it will say the time. So here is 4:59, closed there, and then 6 is where it opens again. So between 4 and 5, the 5 o'clock hour, there's no trading. Closes here, and then it opens down here because this is where the candle opens. It looks like that's the gap, but this is where it opens. That's where it closed, right? So it closed there, and the next hour opened here. So in the same sense, your gap would be drawn like that, right? And you can see that's the gap I've drawn. So I just drew it from the daily, but you can see it's from that close to that open, and that becomes your new day opening gap. It's like further along just because I drew it from the daily, but hopefully that makes new day opening gaps make a bit of sense. And now, as you can see, like I said, that area, it reacted bullish from it, and so it went higher. What have we got? We've got 5 more minutes. So I wouldn't predict anything in this. All of this is just chop. So you wait for 9:30, that's where the stock market opens, and you'll see in 5 minutes there will be it'll just speed up. There'll be a large, we call it a volatility injection. So just like things will just start moving fast, and it'll either like just run up without us, or it will come down and offer us a nice area to enter. Oh. Anyway, I'm not going to talk for 5 minutes unless someone says something to me. All right, yeah, go for. Yeah, I don't mind teaching you. I'm just trying to like not make it complicated because while I'm trying to teach you, just because it's nice that you're here, um, this is also like gonna be like, well, I'm also like trying to like place a trade as well later on. Um, let's see. So typically you want to wait after 9:30 for price to clean up a bit. So like 9:30 is going to come in like 5 minutes, and you'll see like price move up fast or whatever. I'm only looking for longs today. Like I told you, I'm expecting price to come up to this high, right? So because I'm only looking for longs, then I'm gonna wait for 9:30 and hopefully it will come below these lows here. So it'll like you got to think anybody that's currently in a long position, as in to buy, they have stop losses below these lows. So if the market makers were to raid it down there, all those people are forced to sell their positions at a loss, and the market makers can buy those positions from them, right? So that's how they can buy low and sell high. They'll manipulate you in and out. What's going to happen basically at 9:30 is it's going to raid both sides of this. But to know which side first is difficult. I'm honestly going to assume that it wants to come up to the highs first, but we'll see. And like I said, you typically want to wait a bit. What I'm going to be looking at is this window of time here. That here, right? Which we call a macro. This is 9:50 to 10:10. So every 50 past every hour to 10 past every hour is a macro. A macro is simply just a moment in time where price will run for us. It's a moment in time where like a thing you're expecting price to do will begin to happen because it's an algorithm. So the macro, the 50 to 10 past, is basically when a set of instructions will start running and price should clean up and you get your best setups during that time. To keep it simple, like that's where the best setups will come. And the reason why I'm focusing on the macro today is because there's no news events. So I will rely heavily on the macro. If the macro doesn't give me anything clean, then I shouldn't take a trade. I don't want a border one. I just want it to look like that. I hope my mic's good because I think my mic's fucking ass. But that's the window of time I'm looking at. Hopefully you're caught up that this is the 1 minute, this is the 5 minute. So it's the same price action. It's just that this is each candle is 5 minutes, so you can see it count down here. And this is the 1 minute. So each candle represents 1 minute. Got 2 minutes until 9:30. Like I said, this I expect this to be raided. And I said that this should be what sends it lower, but it did come up above it. What does that indicate to me? Is that this is sloppy price action. If it were clean price action and heavy order flow, then like I said, as I said, it would have stayed in the lower half of this and then come lower. But because it's willing to do all of that, you don't want to trade in times like that. So like I said, waiting for the macro. During the macro, I want to see it do the things that I said, like stay in the lower portion, respect it will respect things that I expect it to respect, and if it doesn't, then I'm not going to force a trade, basically. This is your 8:30 open. Let's just get it closer so we know. And 9:30 open. Blimey, that's miles away. But 30 seconds until market opens, so you're going to want to watch what it does. Because you'll be able to see, like I said, it will run. It will run lower really fast. There. Alright, that's that level tagged. This low was not tagged, so it's left some liquidity there. Looks like it wants to raid the buy side as well. So like I said, it wants to raid both sides at 9:30. We can make it easier to look at by getting rid of all this. Alright, so it's tagging the buy side now. CS done. ES took that. See this low here? Nasdaq didn't take it. The S&P did, right? Which is probably why it was able to run up to these highs, because that indicates bullish price action in the short term. Like when the market just opens up, you don't want to be like analyzing everything and trying to predict stuff. At least not for entering a trade. Like I'm not entering a trade until 9:50. But you do just want to kind of like watch, see what it does. But like I said, my expectations, the only thing I'll really want to engage in is something like that, right? I want to buy below all of this, essentially. I don't know what it is, but I want to change my chart colors. Oh shit. No, forget it. I'm going back to the black. Back to black. Much better. That was right. That's nice. That's nice. Still getting used to it, but no, it's actually really nice, isn't it? So that's good. I'm liking that. Like I said, I want it to run the sell side. Um, I'm gonna look on the 15 minute. I just need to see like I don't think any of this is required to be ran. If anything, I want this to support price. Um, there's nothing on the 1 minute that I would be willing to take. I'm waiting for it to start creating gaps. A gap would be, see, like something like this. That's a gap. Um, Whereas with these, you can see the wicks overlap between the candles like that. Instead of like with this one, the wick comes here and then that wick there. There's a gap. There's a gap between that and that there. Um, they're called inefficiencies, and it just means price is clean. So see these lows here, they were equal lows on the ES, and it's raided them, but the Nasdaq hasn't even come close, which is interesting. I've got the charts on another monitor as well. The Dow has gone below its midnight open. The dollar has taken buy side and may start moving lower now, which is good. See on the 30-second, it's all trash as well. When you see, well, I call it hairy price action. When you have these wicks, there's loads of wicks, they're all sharing the same range. You want to see inefficiencies. I'll find a good example of an inefficiency. This here, right? So see this down close candle, that candle, that candle, and that candle. See that wick there, and then that wick there. I'll draw it out. From here to here is a gap because this just single pass down. Those are inefficiencies. Those are what we like to trade. We like to enter in those. Um, if it tapped into that here, I would have gone short, sort of thing. Uh, so that's an indication when price action is cleaning up. And that's what I expect to see during this here, this macro, which I've drawn wrong. It needs to be like that. But I don't actually need that on the chart. I just put it on for other people's benefits. We're currently below 8:30 open. So if you want to go long, it's good to go long below the opens. We're not below midnight open, which we could be heading towards. Um, a buy below midnight open would be great for me. There's also this little thing where between this new day opening gap and that new day opening gap is called an event horizon. If that supports price, that is something. But we're still watching. I honestly expect it to raid these lows now, the way price is being. But hey, you just watched me predict the stock market. I'm not surprised. I do this all the time, do it every day. Being able to engage with it and actually take a trade and make money off of it, that's where it becomes difficult. See how these up close candles are resistance for price? That's because these are bearish order blocks. So price is definitely, in my opinion, it's going to take this low here. So we'll wait for this to be tagged. Liquidity. As you can see, the S&P, it's far, like you can say it's weaker. It's not necessarily weaker. It's that it's swept its liquidity, so it's taken all the stop losses out here, and the NQ hasn't had to do that yet. There we go. There's our liquidity tagged there. It may want the other one. Like it may just keep running down to midnight open, down to this end new day open gap here. You're probably thinking, why didn't I trade that? And it's because I expect price to go higher today, right? So 9:30 open is typically what we call a Judas swing, which is basically like, you know how there's a Judas goat where they'll get a goat and the goat will lead the sheep into the slaughterhouse and then the goat will fuck off. It's like that. It's like market running down to trigger retail traders to try and go short. And then it will run up against them. So it's like simply just a Judas swing usually just looks like that, right? You think it's going down and then bang, it runs up against you. So that's why I was anticipating price to go lower. So none of this is good enough for me yet. It's not clean. I don't like it. There's stuff here on the 15-second, but yeah, I wouldn't touch that. Not on a no news Monday. It's just not clean enough. It could reverse here. I'm happy to miss out on it. It's just not good enough for me. I don't want to be trading the sub 1 minute on a no news Monday. Oh no, mate, I'm looking to buy below midnight open. So like, I'll go back to the daily. Uh, this is where I think the day's gonna go, right? And like I said, this is your daily order block right there. Um, that line there. Let's see if I can get it visible on the. So that lines up. That daily order block lines up exactly with midnight open and that new day opening gap. Anyway, so the thing is I expect this to be where price is going. I could be wrong, but I've submitted to one idea and I'm only going to engage with that one idea because I've got three trades to take. I mean, it's all about discipline, right? I expect it to go here. So instead of just because I think it's going to go up, then you've got to time. What time is it going to do that? Well, first of all, it needs to. It you got to think of liquidity as like fuel for the market, right? So if there are stop losses below these lows like that, then um all those people are forced to sell their position. So then anyone that was long, right? Some people might be in a long position up to here. So this makes sure that none of them are allowed to participate, so that only the smart money can participate, right? There we go. It's coming down to midnight open now. So I'm waiting for it to do that to come to a level like a point of interest, a level that I'm interested in, so that I can then go long, right? Because I'm only looking for long. Basically, it's just discipline. I said to myself, I'm only going to go long today. I could have shorted to midnight open, but the thing is, and like, if you had experience trading, when you, when you like, when you try to do that, I mean, that could have been it. I could have done that and then one and done, right? I wasn't too confident in it. I was just saying, if the day is going to go higher, I would like to see it go below midnight open, right? Um, but you want to take as little trades as possible, basically. The less is more. So I'm trying to take one good trade today, and my what I think is going to be the one good trade is wait for this liquidity to be swept and then target my daily target there. I'm going to go with 3 micros on this trade when if and when it presents. And also, like I said, I was waiting for the macro, right? And the reason why we want it to go below midnight open is because, see, like this is the daily chart. Oh yeah, my daily chart's fucked because it's not tagged to midnight, it's tagged to 6 p.m. Okay. Well, basically, if the daily chart was tagged to midnight, you'd see like this would be a midnight open where it opens up. Basically, it's just like each candle you can see when it opens, it wicks lower. This one wicks higher, wicks lower. This one it opens here, it comes higher, manipulates higher, and then goes lower. This one opens, manipulates lower, then goes higher. And the same thing with the daily chart, basically. And it's just, this would be your midnight open, and you're expecting to buy below it, right? To go up. So this candle, I'm expecting it on the close to look like this. So currently, anywhere below here is good for me. Uh, like I also said, I'm waiting for the macro. Because of the amount of SMT going on, I may be willing to take that as a breaker, but I would wait. Oh wait, it's not clean enough for me. This is the bit where I struggle, knowing when to actually take a trade, like, waiting for price to clean up a bit. It's a shame that it's not the macro yet. It hasn't tagged midnight open, but all the other assets ran majorly lower. I need to see. I regret this trade completely. I need to see price come above this, completely disrespect this gap here on the 5 minute. want to see it act as an inversion fair value gap. Inversion meaning it should be a bearish gap, but I want it to support price instead. I've only got 3 trades that I can take today, and I've only got 300 that I can risk, 330. Like I set that myself. The reason I regret this trade is because I went long because of stuff on the 1 minute, but this gap could send price lower on the 5 minute, and that would be. I want the 5 minute to close above the midpoint of it, and we got 1.5 minutes until then. But all of these highs here, really, really strong, really, really strong. And if anything, so what I'll do, I've got 3 micros on. Limit sell one there. Oh God, look at that. That's not good. This needs to be here. This needs to support price. I've got 45 seconds for the 5 minute close. I just want it to close above the midpoint. Ideally to close outside of it. If it doesn't, I will manually exit. That's great. Fantastic. We're good. I'll limit sell 2 there. I'm happy to go break even. Hoping that this down close candle supports price here. We're likely to get retracements like this because it's a no news Monday, so I'm going to get stop break even, most likely. Um, this it's not the most sharp, cleanest price action because it's no news Monday. I shouldn't move my stop after moving it once, but I kind of regret going break even. I don't mind keeping it for now. Because it's a no news Monday and like you can't just constantly go break even, like your trades are gonna run against you a lot. But I am liking this trade. I'm just gonna double check the actual asset because this is the micros NQ. Okay, because of that I'm gonna go break even. Basically the NQ didn't actually invert that gap, only the micro did. Which is like not ideal for me. So we'll wait. We'll wait for something cleaner. I'll get rid of this. Made $5. We've only got 2 trades left we can take, so we've got to be careful, Macro coming up. If price cleans up during the macro in the direction of the buy side, then I'll take it. Oh, because I set myself to only take 3 trades. I have risk settings, right? And I put maximum trades per day 3, and I locked those settings in. It's just discipline. You don't want to take more than 3 trades, trust me. And that's why I've been break even lately, because I used to take loads of trades and I've managed to like come out on top. But these days I'm trying to limit how many trades I take, and so to be selective about the trades I take, it's something I'm learning. Um, because there's no use being profitable if you lose 300 and then you make 400, but you took 800 trades. You know, it just makes trading stressful, and there's no use in that. On any other day, by the way, I wouldn't have gone break even there. It's just because it's a no news Monday, so you're gonna get price action that's very choppy. I would willingly take a long here though. I'm waiting for the macro to open up. I think we're done on the sell side. I don't think we need to go lower. So this is the macro time. Price should clean up. Um, this gap here, bullish gap staying open. That's good. I like that. Bullish price action. See that's the other asset, the S&P. It's very, very heavy, which we call that like a decoupling, right? They should be moving in tandem. They should be moving at the same time. And that is quite heavy for the S&P. I'm trading Nasdaq. Um, which makes me cautious, but my goal for this week was to just enter a trade and hold it and not tinker about with it too much. So that is what we'll do. Like, to be okay with losing, you know, who cares? So what this is I've got 5 contracts. I've bought 5. It's going to sell 3 here, right? When that happens, I'll take my stop loss to break even, and then the rest are being taken off up here. They're called partial profits. Fuck. That's not good. So it's hopefully it looks like it's finding support at this new day opening gap and at 8:30 open. Ideally, I don't like that it swept this liquidity with a major SMT. Um, to be honest, but that's okay. We'll hold. Because of that SMT, what I'm gonna do is this take off the whole position there, which will give me 225 bucks, which I should be happy with. I don't need more than that, especially on a no news Monday. I'd like it to get, it needs to close above 8:30 open. Spending time around it like this isn't ideal for me. It's just that SMT, the ES being heavy like that, it's really like made me lose confidence in this trade. We like that. If there wasn't this major SMT, I would hold beyond just this. I would hold for the daily target. Um, but I kind of just don't fucking want to because the market is so decoupled. The ES is far too. Ah, fuck it, fuck it. While we're here, well, let's just do it. Let's just fucking do it. We'll take three off there. That's fine. I can do that. Don't see why not. That's just me being hesitant, me being scared. I don't mind taking three off there and then fucking hell, man. This is no news Monday. This is no news Monday price action. You know, this is the opposite of clean. It's the opposite of clean price action. It should not act like this. When it closes up here, it should find support, and it hasn't. It's failed to do so. It needs to find support at this little gap here as well. You see how close it was to my take profit as well. Um, it's still finding support at 8:30 open, so it's important where the candle bodies close, right? That tells me a lot. Bro, I hate this though. This is being so unbelievably slow. It's good though. We're good. We got 5 minute order block here. This is actually the model I come up with. 5 minute change in the state. But there's nothing clean on the 1 minute. If this was like a funded account, I actually wouldn't even trade today. I wouldn't take any of this shit. But because it's a evaluation and it's about to be reset this week, it's fine by me. But yeah, no, it's not clean. The price action isn't clean, and you don't need to know a lot about trading to understand why that is. It's not in a hurry to get to the areas that I've pointed out. It's slow and it's having constant retracements, you know. None of this is good. None of it. And then you get the decoupling like that. That is fucked. I don't like that at all. Fucking all my days. The S&P. Yeah, no. We might be cooked, chat. We might be cooked. So we might actually be cooked. Um, Dow's heading low. The S&P, Nasdaq. This is where the trade limit kills me because I really fucking want to close the trade, but then that means I've only got two trades left. One trade actually. Um, So maybe the trade limit is a bad idea. Yeah. I'm kind of like totally convinced that this is going to get stopped out now. But it's that bloody trade limit, man. I don't want to do anything about it. I got out. I got out right before I would have been stopped as well. So we got one trade left, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go short. And you'll see why. Damn, shorty. You really want to play me like that? Now I can't take partials because this is my third trade. If I take a partial, it'll count as a trade, and then I'm cooked. So I have to just take a full take profit. So we're looking at 630. I want to see it run up from here. Finding support on these up close candles here as a bullish breaker. Well, yeah, there we go. So I want that support price. This is chop, mate. This is as chopped as Bella Ramsey. Like pure chop. Look at all this chop. This is your typical no news Monday price action. That's it. It's locked. So that's that. That's trading. It's really fucking difficult. Um, we'll just watch now. So like this is just because it's No News Monday. That's just what it does. Watch it run off in my favor now. Trust me, it'll go where I expected it to go. It's imaginary trade, right? How annoyed would you be right now if that happened to you? Like, I don't care. Been there, done that. But and then what I'd do is I'd go break even at that point. And we got stop break even on the imaginary trade. But yeah, we are just gonna watch. Basically, like the reason I lost is because this is chopped as fuck. The chopped of us. Um, and that's just because it's No News Monday. Like I said, I wouldn't have taken this trade on a funded account. We're gonna demo trade. How fucking many times do I lose and then I fucking catch it on a demo? Right, we're gonna take two off there. Bang. Go break even. Every time. Every time I catch it on a demo. Every damn time. Pardon me. So we'll check out the executions. Long, short, long, short. The trade limit is kind of what's messing me up. Always has been. Um, but at least I was right. Let's try and figure out what I did wrong on here. That was fine. That's a fine trade. 81, 82. There's 81. So I got in here. Went break even too early. Shouldn't have moved my stop. But I went break even because this was decoupled, which I respect. That's fair enough. 801, 781. Got back in here, got out here. Got back in, got out. Yeah. Basically, my mistake was this. This trade I took was fine, and I micromanaged it a bit too much because of the decoupling, and that was it, basically. Um, I went break even too early. No risk, no rewards, right? But look, you can see I can fucking trade, you know? It's just learning, like, when you've only got one trade that you're going to take in the day, it's learning when to take that trade. Keeping in mind, we've already sold two, right? So we've already bagged some profit. Um, how, I don't know how to pull up my no, I have no idea how to pull up my fucking brokerage thing. Here. Paper trading. Oh, I've got a Bitcoin long going on at the moment as well. Um, count history. So we bagged, we only bagged 42 bucks on those partials. That was a pointless partial to take. Um, but yeah, go back to full screen. But so far in this stream, I joined, I said it's going to go towards midnight open and then run higher, and that's what it's doing. Because I'm always right. It's just trading is kind of really difficult. See, I didn't have my trade limit on this day. Made 200 bucks. So we've made $100 so far, like $110. Got 150 left on the table, and we're gonna make 273 on these. You could buy in this, and that would be like a silver bullet trade, and it would work. Which is why I moved my stop up, because if you weren't in a trade already, you'd enter here, and your stop would be here. So honestly, like my mistake, like I said, I went break even too quick. I went break even too quick, and I didn't wait. Went break even too quick here, and then I got in too quick. I didn't wait for all this chop to be over. You see? This should support price. There's an order block. As I said, just like I said, supporting price. Because like this stuff works. I know how to do this, it's just the discipline side of it. I could have stayed on my account and kept trading, but I set it so it locked out so I didn't lose anymore, and I had to do this on demo. So it's just, yeah, I mean, I think today I should have waited until 10, which is your silver bullet time. Could have bought there. Yeah. You got to understand I'm learning as much as the next guy. But I know how to read this stuff, but I'm learning how to actually trade. Should run fast now. If not, it's going to stop me up. I want to see speed. I want it to be in a hurry to get out of this area now, because this is a propulsion block. So the 50% of that, see how it's respected the 50% of those down close candles. Now it should run fast. That's good. All right, there's a stop loss, and we'll get rid of the limit cell. So I'll just quickly go over again and then I'll get off. So today we were wanting, let's go to the 5 minute and get rid of the executions for a second. So we came into today and we wanted to see price go below these lows and then go near midnight open. The fact that it just missed that new day opening gap and midnight open before running higher is bullish. Then I went long for this inversion for value gap here on the 5 minute. And we got messed up in the chop. So in here, this is 1 minute. And then we'll get the executions back on. We went long here, brilliant trade, but we went break even way too soon. We should have been protected by this gap, so our stop should have been here at 767, but we went break even way too soon because we were afraid of the decoupling. that's a lesson to be learned next time. Like the whole point of this week is that if I'm in a trade, I just need to be in it instead of going break even and stuff. That's why I have the trade limit, so that I'm not inclined to go break even. But I did it today. Um, and then we got back in again. We got stopped. We got in one last time. We got stopped, and that was it. So, and all of this was chop, right? And we get in on the demo, and it's probably gonna run. So we got in here, took a partial, and then got stopped for profit. And if I go to the paper trading, you can see we had that's Bitcoin. Yeah, that's Bitcoin. No, no. What is this? MNQ at price over for 3 units. Is that today? No, that was the other day. So no, wait. I'm being so stupid. Yeah, six. That's ninth. So we bagged $42, then we bagged $69, then $157. And price continues in our favor, right? So a common issue that I have is um no risk tolerance goes break even too fast. Second guesses trades. Solution backtest more every day. Pardon me. Journal more every day. Tape read slow days without putting risk such as today. Right. This is what I'm gonna focus on going into tomorrow. These were my mistakes today. As you can see, I know how to read price, but trading is difficult. So I'm gonna leave it at that because I want to go get some food. I'm gonna eat like 5 eggs and a tin of tuna. Um, but we can see price took out our ultimate target. We'll just quickly go to the daily chart. We'll get rid of the executions. I said it would take out previous day's high. It did, and now it's running towards the drawn liquidity here and potentially this here. So with time, with just generally like learning how to engage in this stuff, the amount of money that can be made is it's there. It's there. But yeah, I'll leave that. I'll leave that there. I appreciate anyone that came on. I know it's just one guy. I can see dollar is starting to run up higher now, actually, so that might dollar's running up higher after this high was taken here. So you could get a reversal at a 10:30 reversal. I kind of want to take a demo trade. Hang on. Let's see. Let's see if I can take a demo short. Nothing's really clean there for me. Honestly, this trade was just me messing around. I would get out probably at this point. I wouldn't ever even short. Like I said at the start of the stream, I wouldn't short today. But 1030 tends to have a nice little reversal, and I like the other assets the way they're correlated at the moment. You got the dollar going higher. You got a major SMT with everything in the Dow, and Nasdaq and ES have a major SMT at the moment. There's the SMT here. Cool. All right, I'm gonna end the stream there. I hope everyone enjoyed. Got the lesson about going break even. So I'm gonna stream tomorrow. Gonna do the same thing. Um, and I'm not allowed to go break even. I'm not allowed to trail the stop at all. I'm gonna take one trade with my max risk, hopefully, and I'm just gonna leave it as it is because I'm way more often than not correct in what this shit's gonna do. So I just gotta learn to trust my system, right? Like I said, remember I told you guys about 930 will be a Judas swing. You can see accumulation, manipulation, distribution. It's actually a pretty clean day. The only thing, and I'll show you what I got on my other screen. The only thing that really messed me up is this, right? And I have this for a vertical screen. Maybe if I just have it like that, it's formatted better. Oh my days, what's going on? Ah, that works, I guess. I don't know. Um, so these three assets here are supposed to be correlated. And at the time, the S&P was heavy and the Dow is extremely heavy. And that's why I went break even. That's what tripped me up pretty much. Um, and I don't know, maybe there's more for me to learn about decoupling on a No News Monday. But the stock market is decoupled at the moment. And that's what threw me off. I'm going to journal it. My journal entries will be posted in the Discord. Everything will be on bar replay, explained candle by candle, and I'll probably have that up in about half an hour to an hour. I mean, I'll have it up a bit later. I want to go and eat, but I hope this was educational, and I'll be doing it all day, all week, every day this week. So I appreciate the time for the one person that's